Have you ever wondered what your favorite rappers were saying? Well, my name is Dr. Neck, and I have a PhD in rapology. And today, I will be translating the song The Box by Roddy Ricch so you can finally understand what he is saying. He starts with, and he continues this throughout the whole song because he is on a rocking chair. Impressive. And then he says, and I quote, "Pulling out the coupe of the lot, tell him F12 that's swap." Which means he is taking out his two-door sedan to the parking lot and tells them to F the police and F the police special weapons and tactics team. Then he continues. Busting all the bells of the box, I used to the lick with the box, how to put a stick in the box. This part, he is taking a brick of marijuana out of a container. And then he quickly makes a large amount of money with that container. And then he had to put a large firearm into another container. He sure has a lot of containers at this point. I wonder if he frequents the container store. And then he continues. Pour up the whole damn seal, I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals, we be trapping like the 80s. So at this point, he pours up all of the lean, pretty wasteful, which makes him unproductive. He also has deals that allows him to deal drugs like back in the 80s. And then he says, "She suck a N-word so got the cash app. Told him wipe a N-word no, say slash slap." And this part means that a female companion has performed, how do I put this, oral stimulation to the point of intense climax, and he proceeds to pay her with cash app. Then the next part he tells them to kill someone and then show them love by saying slat slat, which stands for slime love all the time, in which slime stands for a trusted acquaintance. And then he says, "I won't ever sell my soul, and I can back that, and I really wanna know where you at, wet." So he mentions that he will never sell his soul, probably in reference to the devil. In the second line, he really wants to know where you are at, in which he has a slight stutter and says at twice. And then he says, and I quote, "I was out back with a stash at, cruise the city in a bulletproof Cadillac, skirt, cause I know after where the bag at." So now he is outside in the rear where he has put his drugs, and he is driving under the speed limit in his bulletproof GMC Cadillac. But then he says skirt, which now makes me believe that he was actually over the speed limit. Yes. He was driving very fast because he knows that his enemies are after his money, which they know where it's at. And then he says, "Gotta move smarter, gotta move harder, and we're trying to get me for my water." Which means he has to sell drugs in a more thought out way and also has to work harder. This is due to the fact that his enemies are trying to steal jewelry from him. Next he says, "I lay his ass down on my son or my daughter, had a drink with me, Dwayne Carter." In this part, he swears on his kids that he will kill this person and that he has a weapon like Lil Wayne, who was arrested for actually having a weapon. And then he goes, "A lot of N-words out here playing, they ain't ballin'. I done put my whole arm in the rim, Vince Carter." Which means a lot of foes in the streets are actually pretending to be rich. And then he compares himself to Vince Carter, who is a famous basketball player known for his dunks. And in this case, the one where he puts his whole arm in the rim. And then he says, "And I know Prime get a key from my quarter. Shorty better seen double C's that I bought her. Got her looking like a lead sheet model." And this part means that he can probably get a kilogram for cheap. And that his female acquaintance is rarely seen in implants that he bought her. And that he has a girl that looks like Aaliyah, who is a famous R&B singer, and he finds her to be very attractive, like a model. And then he says, "I got the pink slip on my whip's a ski list. Compton, about to get the keys to the city. Had it like the sea, forget it." This part he says he has a pink slip, which proves that he owns his cars and that all of his vehicles are keyless because they are very expensive. He then says that he is a hero to Compton, in which he will get the key to the city. I wonder if he's a Kingdom Hearts fan. He then talks about his expensive watch, but it's no big deal. And then he says, ha ha ha, I've been moving them out. Stealing with me, got blues in the pouch. This part he was watching this video and I made him laugh. And then he talks about successfully dealing his drugs, and if his defining characteristics let him, he has oxycodone and Xanax in his bag. And then he goes, took it to the forest, put wood in mouth. Don't wear no shoes in my house. Which means he takes her to the forest to put, how do I say this? Genitals where she eats. And then here's my favorite part. He tells her not to wear shoes in his house. Asian approved. And then he goes, the private I'm flying in, I never want to fly again. Take my chance in traffic. Here he talks about the private plane he's flying in and that he's never flying again, so he'd rather be stuck in traffic. Not sure if I would have to agree with that. She's sucking no hands with it. I made a rolling plans like a landing strip. Then the next part is pretty self-explanatory. Just read it here. And then he says he made his Rolex plain, like a shaved female, part. But this is also a play on words, as in an aircraft on a landing strip. Clever. And then he says, I'm a 2020 president candidate. I done put 100 bands on Zimmerman. Then the next part is pretty self-explanatory. Hope he wins. In that he has put lots of money for a hit on Zimmerman, the man who killed Trayvon Martin. I've been moving real gas since she picked the crib. Try to call me Crisco cause I popped my. And at this part, here's another play on words, and he's saying he's selling drugs like a gangster, specifically a Crip. This also means that he likes doing a Crip walk, in which gang members do a type of dance. You can just Google that. And this next part, I'm not really 100% sure, but I believe that he's saying that his female companion calls him the cooking shortening, which pops when you cook or when you fry certain things. But it also means that he's boasting about fighting others. Clever. Got out the mud. There's nothing you can tell me. Yeah, when after drugs, I was street wealthy. Yeah. In these last couple lines, it means that he got out of the streets from nothing, and he is above what anyone has to tell him. Then right here, he's simply saying, yeah. And then lastly, he says that he's very rich when he was selling drugs. But I'm sure he's a lot richer now that he made this song. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you like this, please hit the subscribe and the bell button, and I will make plenty more of this content and translate all of the songs that you don't understand. And thank you, and until next time.